Shady silhouetted images and industry teasers are finding their way into our homes and invading our minds. Their calculated information is delivered to feed our addiction for radio-controlled frequencies. It's an RC conspiracy. But we are on your side, cracking the RC code. Because the truth is out there. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast. Get your decoder rings ready and put on those tinfoil hats because your fearless leader is here. Please welcome your host, the lead RC conspiracist, Tony Cece. Tony Cece. Welcome to the RC Conspiracies podcast.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another RC Conspiracies podcast. We had to start that one a little bit different because I didn't have the graphic to hold the place for the beginning because my computers are a mess right now, you guys. I had to take my MacBook Pro to the Apple Store because the battery was bulging, so it wouldn't sit level. It would just kind of rock when you had it on a table, whatever. But also, I just could not update the operating system. There was something wrong, and so had to get that fixed. And so it went out, but they had to slick everything. I had to back everything up. Nightmare scenario. Got a new Mac Mini here because I could get it cheap, under $1,000. I think I got it for $650 because they matched the Costco price. So that's what I'm running all this on right now is a Mac Mini and the MacBook Pro. I'm trying to get everything backloaded onto it, but I have to reinstall a whole bunch of crap. So, yeah, so we're good to go. It's cold here. It's like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It is insane. Welcome to Michigan, I guess. Crooked Mitten RC shirt on. The people in Michigan, they love being from Michigan. Everything's got the outline of the state on it. So anyway, welcome you guys. Today we're going to do something a little different. I was trying to think of what we should do today. There were some new releases. There's some new stuff. We will talk about a little bit of what Harley hinted on. So Old Time RC, I got some stuff to talk about there. I've got something coming from them. You know, YouTube advertising works sometime, you guys. And so I have to blame Josh over at Harley Designs for making me spend a lot of money. So he has an ad that he runs. I know I did not get a new wallet. I probably need one. If you guys saw my wallet's pretty cool. I hate to get rid of it. It's not going to focus. But this is from Peru. I bought it in Peru. It's got their little. Hey, he looks kind of phallic. I'll just say that. But the little dude here with the little shovel base and the headdress thing on it. It's from Peru. I got it probably on a trip. It says Peru right here, actually. Peru. Anyway, I got it on a trip a long time ago. I travel. I've been over 40 countries probably for work. And doing photography and video production, and got on one of those trips. Pretty cool. But, maybe I need to get one. Travis Paul, man, just want to let you know we are praying for you, man. So definitely for you and your son. Tough times, man. But, yeah, definitely lifting you up in prayers, me and my wife. So, anyway, welcome, guys. A bunch of people jumping in here. We're going to be talking about Christmas. We're going to be talking about, basically, this is kind of a list of RC cars that I just really like. And so as people are shopping for Christmas, I thought, hey, I'll let everybody know. I do have a few things I want to go through. I haven't had time to do the mail call or mail haul. So I do want to mention a few things I have gotten the mail. And then we'll rock right into this Christmas list stuff, you guys. Sea Mafia's in the house. That's one of the mail haul things to talk about right over there. In fact, let's start with that. This beauty right here is from Easy RC, and it is a pretty slick little unbranded 1/18 scale truck, brushed interior, seat, everything looks awesome. Tailgate opens, you can haul stuff in it. It's a full deep bed. So I like the color of it. I like the blacked out grill. This is more my style of a truck. You have seen that there is an FMS one that's beautiful, but I do love the blacked out wheels on this, blacked out grill. And it definitely is, it's cheaper than the FMS, but it should be. And it's more starter. Even though the body and stuff is beautifully detailed, it does have plastic rails and stuff underneath. The controller, leaves you wanting a bit more. You cannot control the lights from the controller, but that's why it's cheaper than the FMS models. And so if that stuff doesn't bother you, then it's a really great starting point. But I do really like this thing. I love the look of it. So we'll start there. We'll be doing some videos. I already shot the video on that thing. Yeah. It's sitting on multiple memory cards in my bag. The other thing that I got was Robinson Racing 2mm shaft size 12T 0.5 mod pinion. That's going to go on a brushless motor that I already got to try and put into one of the Micro Monster trucks, and I was having trouble with pinions. Well, this is 0.5 mod, so it should work with the hot racing gears. So what I did was I got a bunch of these motor plates here from Mofo RC. There's 3 of them in this bag. There's also 3 push-on pinions here to go with the Surpass rockets, which I've ordered, I think, 2 or 3 of those as well. So they're in here. Man, I wish that would focus. Well, it's on manual. Maybe that's why. Let's see if this will do it. Oh, there we go. Kind of there. So these are the adjustable motor mount transmission plates. You can see the slotting right there. So these are nice. And then the small pinions here, those will push onto those Surpass rockets. And then this will go on the one that I already have there. So now it's got to focus back on me if it can. Will it? You want to. It doesn't want to. We'll see if we can do it in manual mode. Uh-oh. It doesn't want to focus. So it locked up. Hold on one second, guys. Go watch Matt then, Oni. We're just going to talk about some really cool RC products that are available for people that are trying to figure out what they want to buy. Just give me 1 second, guys. Here, we're going to put you up on a page of one of the things I think is the best Christmas things that is going to be out there. These things are hot. I'm working on this camera is a Fujifilm, and it's a bit of a pain. It's a nice camera for photography, stuff like that. You have to kind of work with it to make it do video. And because of that, the mode kind of locks up on it for some reason every once in a while. And so that's usually the focus that locks up. Let's see if I can refocus now. There we go. Now it's working. It's all electronic, which is the problem with these type of lenses. Can't have nice things. I've been dealing with drainage type stuff from the cold, so I'm going to have my Coke Zero here in my Freedom cup here. Who makes this? This is a cool 9-line cup. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. What's going on, Jamie? RC Hobby Films, manual focus. Yeah, but manual focus on an electronic lens that requires all the electronic stuff. I don't know what's going on. This is a really sweet lens on it. It's a 2.8, 16 to 55 millimeter in the Fujifilm XH1 series. All I really use this camera for now is a web camera, basically. It's kind of an expensive web camera, but yeah, whatever. Peter says, just finished putting a 7500 kV BL 1410 motor into his SCX24. Had the 5500, want a little more speed. Gonna go test it right now. Awesome, dude. Yeah, so I have the 9500 kV 1410, I think, Surpass Rocket coming, and also a 7500 to try them both out. Also, the the chassis went on sale for everyone's been waiting, and the Tiny Titan ones from Southwest Monster Shop for the 24 scale monster trucks went on sale for a couple hours this morning, and then they all sold out. I posted some links, and sorry if you guys missed it, but yeah, I got one of them in before I posted and let everybody know. I'm saying, just saying, honesty. But I'm actually selling it to somebody. I knew that there was somebody that wanted it. So yeah, best wallet is the Ridge wallet. Sea Mafia. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't get that. We'll talk about what I got instead. But I went over and saw from one of his things. But let's talk about this. RC Guy Garage in the house. What's up? Look at this background lighting. I know, right? It's pretty cool. It's even cooler if you turn off like the overhead lights, but I wanted them on. The studio finally. Look at the space. I got rid of those brown chairs. And actually, if you pan this way now, I got space over there. If you keep going, I got a couch over there. Can't really see it. My cricket's there. More shelving behind the ping pong table. The studio is coming together finally. Finally. And you can't see it. There's a gravedigger. You know what? You should be able to see it. Now we're talking. Look at that gravedigger side panel from the monster truck. That's wicked. So yeah, it's a pretty sweet space. I'm not gonna lie, I love it up here. I love it up here. All right, so let's talk about show off the shirt. Crooked Mitten RC. I showed it earlier. So yes, I agree with you, RC Master. I want an LMT 24. I will be fully transparent and say that I took my 24 scale with me to the Hall Brothers Racing, where Daniel Chichagash put on an awesome HBR Classic event, monster truck racing. Bunch of people showed up, Trigger King guys. I was there. Some other people were there. An awesome time racing monster trucks. Trailer Trash RC showed up. And yeah, really good time was had by all. And I didn't win anything. I raced pretty terrible, but yeah, who cares? I had a great time. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about some stuff that I think are awesome ideas for Christmas. And this is not a comprehensive list. This is not the Black Friday sales listings that you guys are seeing. There's a ton of great stuff out there. There's parts if you wanted to go to that. Most of this, with the exception of one, is ready to run. And you guys know I like that. You know, and I want you guys to list what you think as I go through this. If I'm missing something, I'm going to do it by price ranges, right? So I'm going to do $200 and under to start with. So if you guys feel like, so I don't want to like just be like, this is an awesome rig. I've never used it. I'm not going to talk about anything that I haven't used. So that's just not fair to do, because I don't want to be out there saying it was a great deal and then somebody got it and it was terrible and I didn't know it because I never got to. All right, so yeah, shout out to Mets RC in the hospital. giving the COVID-19 a fight. Yeah, he needs to fight it strong, man. Ryan Benner, have I ever had a servo kill in ESC? I have not. I don't have too many servo problems, honestly. But I usually, when I have a servo roll out, burn up, I usually get a Reefs, and they've been pretty good. So let's talk about a few of these. We're just going to kind of hammer through them. I got a list here, and I want you guys, so under $200, start shouting out what your favorite things are for under $200. I tried to only do 3 or 4 things under the list, except for when it went over the $500 range, because it's kind of a big big span of things. So, and I didn't go too deep into that. There's a lot of stuff that people love up there, but I don't have all that in there. Check that out, RC. RC reactivated, saying $1. All right, so let's talk about it. First thing, I think that is the hottest ticket every Christmas, and this is why I think that the SMT 10 should be an SMT 24 or some kind of 24 scale. I don't know. I'm hanging onto this little for getting fish hooks out. It's a little grip. Somehow made it up here from my son, but I just am kind of playing with it like a fidget spinner. I think this is one of the, in my opinion, top selling type things right here. The SCX 24, mostly because of price. They're under $150. They're a ton of fun. You can get so many upgrades for them. I just think that, these things are going to be like stocking stuffers. I know I got them for my kids last year. We now have 7 of them. I've had some. I bought some to convert to monster trucks. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. So then I just, I have links in the description, but it links to all the different things you can get for it. All these upgrades, all of it, it makes for great stocking stuffers if you know somebody that has one. These links are awesome. Lots of hot racing upgrades are really wicked. So I see the questions in here. I will do it. Yes. So Joe RC Garage agrees. Freebird RC says the Red Cat Ridge Rock. I have not used it. The FMS 6x6, and I agree with that. And that's actually, I can jump to that real quick. This is something that's actually on my wish list this year, but I can't speak to it because I have not bought it, other than everybody saying how awesome it is. I think they just look wicked cool in either the blue kind of silver or the red. Either way, it's just an epic looking vehicle, but they perform really, really well as well. So I think this is great. The other thing that I didn't actually put in here are the 1RC Racing, and I don't know if the pricing those have gone up yet or not. So what are they? Yeah, 189. These are really wicked cool midgets that you can get. And I have these, and I really like them. They only turn left. If you turn right, you're going to spin out. But so yeah, about just under $200, you can get into the midget racing ones for sure. And then the pricing goes up based on the different models that they got. But it's mainly oval racing stuff, and that's really cool. Charisma GT 24s are awesome, Peter says. So we're going to pull up some of the stuff you guys are saying here. Charisma GT 24. Okay, these are cool. I have this one, the Coyote Pup. It's a pretty cool one. You can get them at A-Main for $120. But these are like rally cars. I dig it. I know that I've been hearing that the buggy diffs will fit into these axles on here and give you open diff axles for potential monster truck action for the 124 scale. I'm just saying. That's what I heard. S of Ghost says whoever products a RTR 124 scale monster truck is going to make a killing. Hemostats are really handy to have around. I don't know what that is. Freebird, what kind of 3D printer do I have in the background? This is a Viper by Anycubic. So I picked it up. It does auto leveling and all that. It's about $350. I wasn't ready to step into a Prusa yet, but I really wanted auto leveling. So that was kind of where I went to. Element Enduro 24 is a great mini crawler. Okay. The late metals are sweet. Yeah. Low C22S SC10, is that under $200? I think it is. $229. That ain't bad though. That's just over. So I don't have one of these, but so that'd be under the $300 range. So let's just go ahead and we'll bump there. But first, I think I had a couple others under $200. I really like this lineup here of the mini Bs, the mini Ts, all of that. These are brushed, but I think they're really solid for $160. What you get with these, I think, is just insane. They're really, really awesome looking. 3 different color options. They've got the aluminum chassis and everything. You can get a brushless motor, put it for about $80, and then it's just like wicked fast. So yeah, either of those, they've got the truggy or the buggy. So this is 1/16 scale. The other is a 1/18 scale. So definitely a little bit smaller, but not much because the buggy to truggy. So those are something I think are really cool. So then bumping up to the 300 and under level, this is where we get our first kit. And it may be the only kit that I put in here. And that's this SMT 10 Builders Kit for $199. It's insane what you get for this. In my opinion, it's a really fun build. You can do a lot of stuff with it. You can put in another $200 and have a really, really awesome machine for about $400 that you can just bash and have a blast with. So you can get in at a decent price if you start with the kit. That's for sure. So I would say that low C SCT that we just looked at is a pretty good deal. Again, it's 2-wheel drive, but you can get into a nice short course truck for $230. But I did not have that listed. That came from Freebird, I believe. Yeah, so here we go. C Mafia dropped the Micro Mamba and the Mini B, and it's insane. I did the exact same. No, I did the Fuse one where it's the ESC combo from Horizon, and that thing was insane. It's popping wheelies down the back straightaway, which is insane. So we're getting TRX4 Sport. Is that underneath? Is that under the 300? 369. So we'll look at that at the although they do have a kit. But we'll look at that under the $400 range because the TRX4 is a really great platform. Not in my list, but yes. ECX Temper Gen 2 is also good. Yes, I have that. It's pretty all right. The problem I have is the shocks pull out, and it's been doing that. So where was I? Axial. The other thing I had is the Kyosho Mad Vans are under $300. Whether you get the $220 brushed version or the $230 or $280 brushless version, I'm actually pretty happy with the way that the brushed one handles. There's a lot of things I like about the brushed one. The brushless one is pretty epic to run. If you saw our video where we bashed it at Digger's Dungeon, you run into some issues like they put in the brake lights and stuff like that just pop out and didn't really make sense to put into a brushless basher. like these taillights. They just, nothing holds them in. I don't like the wheelie bar sticking out the back of the van body. Things like that kind of hurt it for me. I'd rather remove the wheelie bar and just put the stock brown body on from the brushed version and not have this huge cutout of the van body. But I do like the roof skids on the top as well as the, the little visor, and it really does wheelie up, and it's wicked fun. Diffs need some grease in them for sure. We chipped a tooth in ours, but those are great runners. I think I really like that Mad Van series. The other is the 1/18th Mini T that already comes as brushless for $230. So you don't have to add more brushless. If you're ready to just jump at it and go brushless, this is a killer way to do it. Get the really spiky tires on the rear, 2 color options, $230. Great option. Right here, $260. This one is actually on back order from A-Main, but I just love the Stampede 2-wheel drive series of trucks. Easy to work on, cheap to maintain. They take a beating. They teach you to drive. I mean, I started on a 2-wheel drive Stampede. They were $230 back in the day. Pricing's gone up just on everything, so they're now $260, but super durable platform. You get this awesome looking Bigfoot body. I chose this one. There's other versions, but the original is, number one is the way to go, in my opinion. So yeah. So that's the under $300 range versions. I had the Mad Van, the Mini T, and the Bigfoot by Traxxas. So I'm trying also, I'm being careful that I'm showing as many different types of brands as I can, because I'm not really brand centric. I don't choose only one brand. I am kind of partial to Losi. It has nothing to do with it being the Horizon Hobby one. There's a lot of Losi vehicles I really, really like. I run their 2-wheel drive buggy. I run their, I don't have the 2-wheel drive that we showed, the short course, but I started with their, the Losi 10 SCTE back in the day. So I've had a lot of them. So there's a couple Losis for sure on here. And there's actually no drag cars on here because I don't know enough about it to recommend any over the other. And I haven't run my Losi drag car yet. With the move and everything, I haven't been able to do it. So Raquel says, send Racing Hyperlube. I do like that actually a lot. Can you still get it though? Oh yeah, Vortex. I don't trust that. A-Main. Oh, boom. If you can get this $299 under $300, that's not bad at all. They got the B50. I enjoy these. They're brushed. They're fun. 4-wheel drive. You're going to kind of be in that range of like the Stampede as far as speed and all that and fun factor. Kicking it up though to the next level, the $400 and under, well, $300 to $400 range. My top pick is still going to be the Big Rock. The Vortex still falls into this range. It's pretty awesome. It has some upgrades that are nice, like the AVC and things like that. But I still am just a sucker for the look of the Big Rock. So, any of these line up, in my opinion, of the 3S BLX are pretty awesome trucks. But this one, the fully blacked out look, I know I've beat this one up enough times. Haven't really had anything serious happen to it. So it's still kind of at the top of my list. I know other people have had mixed reviews and stuff over time, but mine's still beating strong. So and any of them, I mean, if you're getting into this price point and you're really bashing them, you're going to start to see stuff happen over time. The other one, this one's kind of out of left field maybe for some people, but I have fallen in love with this truck. $399. So it's right at the edge. It's at that 400. 1 cent, and it's a $400 truck. And this, I think, is the only crawler I have in the mix currently. I had the Capra in there, but now the Capra 4x4s or 4 steer one is out, and I'd probably push people to that, but I haven't driven it, so I don't know. So I've stuck with just adding this in. I like the SCX 10.3. Going back, the Sport we talked about, where was that? TRX4 Sport would have fallen into that last category. And this is a very popular. I don't know who Vortex Hobbies is. How did I pick that up? Let's go with A-Main 369. But very, very popular. A lot of people that don't want all the extra bells and whistles of the locking diffs and all of that. You get right here just a really great, capable truck from Traxxas, just as a starter. You can get the kit. Oh, okay, for under $300. So that would have fallen into the previous range as well. So, Traxxas really changed the game when they came out with their crawlers, the TRX4, and yeah, you can see they've got a pretty cool looking lineup. I really dig this new Bronco look. And I'm a guy that would get this and just run it stock look, keep the body and everything. RC Guy Garage. They were selling the Primal MT laminators for $50 on Facebook. There you go. There is your Christmas in a Facebook advertisement right there. Merry Christmas. There will be no regrets over that purchase at all. I can guarantee you that. I have a laminator and it's awesome. And I paid over $3,000 for it. So at $50, it's a steal. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to get exactly what you paid for at that kind of price savings. Oh, that's good stuff right there. So yeah, this Enduro, I've swapped a lot out. It ran good stock, but the whole point when I got it was to show that you could put. So a lot of people that were putting all the Spectrum electronics only into Horizon products. I'm like, dude, it'll work in any of these. And so I got this Element Ecto to put it in. So it's the first Element that I bought, and I'm very impressed with it. And I will probably be buying another one. I'm just waiting to see what they come out with next. So I dig it. I actually like the body of it. I like the open wheels. I like a lot of the concept here. So yeah. Rival MT10. This thing is probably one of the most underrated, overlooked RCs that's out there. If you watch what RCU next Tuesday does with this thing, it will blow your mind. I got one of them early on, and I just had an absolute blast with it. It just handled so good. The tires were a little bit balloony and stuff like that, but overall, I mean, you could just destroy this thing, and it would just keep coming back for more. I broke an A-arm on it, but that was it. And that's because of the way I hit a jump, actually. The jump broke it. So one of the bolts that was sticking up caught it and ripped into it. So, yeah, really, really cool truck. They've got the bigger one now, the MT8. I can't speak to that. I can tell you that this one, for $340, you put 3S into this thing and go, and it's just going to be a wild ride. So also under the 400, I had to stick in the SMT10. It's brushed. It's kind of slow. It's just one of my favorite trucks out there. You know, it's been overshadowed now by the LMT10, but the LMT10 is basically twice the cost of this. So if you're just looking to get in and put a little bit in for about another $100, be it about $450, you can have a pretty sweet ride, just adding a brushless system into this and going to town. And they're pretty cool. So that's just a quick one. Get your Gravedigger on if you're into monster trucks. Jumping up to the 500 and under lineup, the 110 Tenacity DB Pro, hands down, one of my favorite RCs out there. when I'm not wanting to video, when I'm not wanting to do a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm just looking to go throw out something that's not the LMT, I grab the Tenacity DB Pro. It basically is like a short course truck with a cool desert buggy body on it. It just handles better than a short course truck because it doesn't catch the wind in the air and like float. It's got a lot of weight to it with the cage and that. It just handles awesome in the air. One of the most controlled RCs that I have. And I like it. And I like it's a really big brother, the DBXLE. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I know a lot of people out there really like this. Just there's quality in this. And yeah. I was one of the few people I think that pinioned down when they went to 3S. I think everybody else just was like, screw it. We're leaving the pinion on. And so some people did blow the bead off the wheels and stuff. I never did. Mine's still running completely bone stock. I don't go huge air with it, stuff like that. I rip it around the yard. I throw it through sand and dirt and just, I need to get it out to the Bass Lakes Park where there's all the sand and the trails out there and just rip it through those. And that'll be one of my next videos, I'm pretty sure. But one of my favorites. Freebird, I do not know anything about nitro. I have not had a nitro in any of the years that I've done RC yet. Mets RC says, I wish my wife would bring one of my SCX-24s up to my hospital room. Yeah, man. That would be fun. I wonder if you'd be allowed. I was talking about getting it for my brother, and they said they'd get him in trouble. Or maybe it's just what he would do with it. Jesse's RC, love the podcast with RC Patina Guy. Very cool. Glad to hear you liked it. We're going to have a couple more of those coming up. I've recorded a couple already, so we'll be spacing them out. But do have Big America coming up next. If you guys have watched him on Instagram, Big America is some of the most amazing RC monster truck footage you'll ever watch. And he takes the time to go in and put real monster truck sounds underneath it instead of doing music. And it just, most people are fooled by it. They think it's real if you read his comments. I was talking to him. He said probably 75% of the people that follow him think that it's a real monster truck. So it's awesome. The way he films it, everything is just really cool. All right. So where was I? Yeah, this, if you guys are interested in it, you got to just try it. It's amazing. Red Cat Kaiju 449. I know the new one is out. I haven't driven the new one. I can't speak to it. But I think that the Kaiju's one of my favorite rippers. It's 6S, but I would say on a 4S, it's probably one of my favorite 4S vehicles out there. 6S, you start running into some of the issues that people have with it, with the cups breaking, and then you have to get sleeves to put over them and stuff like that. But they're a real pain in the butt to get on. I have some. I actually couldn't get them on, so I'm not running them. So when I did my fix, I just decided to stay back at 4S with it, and it rips. I dig it. I love it. It handles so good. I love the stock tires. I love the suspension. I think it's just an outstanding car. 449 for a 6S vehicle. You can run 6S. You can make it do crazy flips. You will probably break more stuff the second you go for 6S with it. But you're going to be tempted. I was, and we broke stuff. All right. So after that, we're jumping up to the over $500 range. And here is my favorite RC car, ready to run RC car, I think ever released. I'm you know what? I'm going to say that in full screen. This is my favorite RC car ready to run that's ever been released to date. there are certain ones I have aspects I like better about it, but the one that I just reach for, the one that kind of changed the way that I drive, the way that I enjoy RC, it's this one right here. It's expensive. If you have a lot of money to spend for Christmas, then these are the ones that I would recommend. This isn't in everybody's. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I drive this one 90% of the time out of all my RC cars. What do I reach for? I reach for this one. So $650. It's not a cheap RC. You can get the roller for less. I think it's 400-ish. The roller, 450-ish. I'm not saying 400. I think it's in the 400s. See if it'll load. My computer's running slow. Freebird RC. I've heard of the RCL if he's tearing it up. So it's $399. It's actually under 400. I thought it was gonna be like 450. So you don't get the body, you don't get the electronics, you don't get the radio. You see the cage there. You get a black cage, white wheels. $399. Paul Clancy called it. This, again, not this one. You can do the exact same thing with this one. I'm a huge Son of a Digger fan, Grave Digger fan, as you can see behind me with the panels on my wall here. I have a Grave Digger one. I have two Son of a Digger ones, and I have a roller that I haven't finished building yet. So, two Son of a Diggers. One of them's destroyed, and one of them's my race one. I have Vidavon axles for one, Trio axles for another, and I have Vidavon axles waiting to go on the other. The problem is that the leagues don't allow you to run them because they want them to be more stock spec class. So I haven't been able to put them on yet. So I have Vidavon axles waiting to go on one. How much have I put into my LMT so far? The only thing that I've changed on my Basher truck that I got, the very original one. So if I would have paid full price for it when I got it, would have been $600. I got it for doing the video. But I put on a Reef's raw servo, so about $130 with a $50 Freestyle RC servo saver, and then I put on Trio axles, so that's another $300. So we're looking at about $4 something. So we're about $1,000 truck basically. So yeah. But yeah, it's my favorite truck out there currently, ready to run. That's the caveat I'll put on it. I can bash it, I can race it, I can do a lot with it. The freestyle stuff is fun. You don't have to have dirt jumps. I've got a video showing how you can build ramps for them. Inexpensively, they're lightweight. You can pick them up, carry them. I store them in my garage, and you can go out and have a blast just with a few of these ramps and trying to do really scale freestyle. And so it's really fun. And that's what's changed it about me. I don't have to go for the 20-foot airs and jump it 100 feet long. With this one, I can keep it nice and tight, trying to do the moonwalks, trying to do two-wheel tricks, trying to do stuff that the real trucks do. And it's really fun because it's like a video game. It's not just like, so much of bashing is just hit it as fast as you can. First of all, hope you hit the takeoff, and then hope that you land it, and then if you do, it's all the glory. But so much of it's not actual control. You're not in control to a degree. And with this, when you're keeping it low, there's a lot more about what you're trying to make it do. That I'm hooked on. It's kind of like doing the crawlers and having to keep it on the course and not roll. And I don't know. if you don't have one and you're into RC, this thing's awesome. So that one's first. This is probably the second game-changing RC that I have. I didn't expect to like it, and it's probably my favorite that I've used so far RC that's came out this year. So the SCX6, it's big, but I like big stuff. I've got multiple big cars. I've got the DBXLE, the Raminator, the Bari build, quite a few big ones that I've had. I really like large scale stuff. It's a pain in the butt to store, but it really is something else the way that it moves. So we won't stay on it long. It's very expensive, but it's definitely a game changer of an RC that they came out with. X-Max is also an expensive rig. I don't have one currently. I've had them for years, and it's a solid rig. Monster truck style, tons of fun in the air, tons of fun on the ground. The way that it moves and shifts weight, it's literally probably one of the next big ticket ones that I'll be buying to get another one in the fleet. I've been looking at them. I've even been looking at giving the Max another shot. I will have to completely redo the suspension if I do that. I was not a fan of the suspension of the Max, even with the wide kit and everything installed. So I'll have to definitely work that out. But I definitely want to get an X-Max again, and so maybe 2022 will make that happen. We'll see. With the move and everything, I've had to be a little bit careful. On the ground, street car, my favorite all time is the Infraction 6S. Dirt oval, cement. I love the look of it, either color. The blue or the silver or custom. I mean, they're just really, really wicked trucks. Lots of speed. Burnouts are awesome. The handbrake is super fun. And yeah. So again, these are all in the higher range, not in any type of order. This is $50 more than a low C. If you don't have dirt and don't want to do jumping, if you like to stay on the ground, if you want to build this up to go over 100 miles an hour, that kind of stuff you can do. Creighton 6S, I finally got one. I've had all of the other different ones, from the Italian to the Outcast to the 6S lineup. I've got a Typhon, and I finally get it. I can't believe it took me so long. Every time I'd save up the money to get a Creighton, something new would come out, and the Creighton had been out for a long time. And so with YouTube and all that, it kind of dictates in some ways to say, okay, we'll buy the new thing because it'll get more views. You'll get some of your money back. I finally went through and got a Creighton 6S this summer, and it's awesome. I guess it was this fall even. It wasn't that many months ago. It's awesome. The way that it handles is so different than the Outcast and the others, and it's definitely more at my speed. It'll do flips. It'll do tricks, but it's not kind of like uncontrolled like the Outcast 6S can get sometimes in the air. I'm in love with the handling of this. That little bit of extra length in the chassis did it for me. So yeah. Last one, we'll just hit it really quick, is the DBX. So I'll get to the comments. I see the comments there. The two-wheel drive, or not the two-wheel drive, the four-wheel drive 2.0 DBX LE. Comes in Fox body livery and also in the Losi livery. So there's options. 5th scale. These things rip. They will tear it up. I can't wait for the snow this year and to take this out in the snow. I've seen RC Guy Garage do it, and so I'm looking forward to it. Freebird, it doesn't do. I don't have links enabled on here. Just tell me what chassis it is, and we'll look it up. Do you run a censored system on the LMT, Paul Clancy? I do not. I love the Spectrum system that comes in it. There's a couple reasons. I like the delay in the timing from going from forward to reverse. For doing the moonwalks, if you have too much power quickly getting into reverse, you just never get it. There's something, it's just like the delay is perfect for doing the moonwalks. So I really, really like it. Joe RC Garage, please tell me the roller will be on sale for Black Friday. Okay, the roller will be on sale for Black Friday. I don't know that it will be though. I'm just telling you what you wanted to hear. But I don't know. I don't have any insider information on that. Earl Moorhead, yeah, 1K pocket change for everyone in RC. Nope. Although we all spend so much, it's crazy, right? I've seen you, Earl. You've put away a lot recently into RC. I know I have. I've spent a ton this year. So I just ordered. So I guess I'll mention it. You see what I have right here. Let's pull it up. Okay. This will help you out. Oldtimerc.com. So this is what Harley had on his site. It was all about their new Old Time RC has these portal axles. And they just announced this new one, which he talked about today. But this is what I came for to look at, were these limited stock upgrades you can get for $70. And they sell you these parts here to upgrade your axles to portal axles for your SCX 24. Pretty sick. Comes with all the gearing, bearings, all the kinds of stuff you need. Really, really cool, right? That's X Max Money, X Max Money, Earl. RC Mass Master $1,000. That's what I need. I need $1,000. I just spent it on something else though, so we'll talk about that. All right. Jesse's RC. I love my STX6. So realistic. RC Mass Master. You need a garage to keep the STX6. You do need a garage. I have a whole garage bay right now that has my 5th scale stuff in it. I need to find a different way to store it. RC Mass Master. You know you don't need to own every RC out there. That is the thing. I'm trying not to. I have not picked up the MT8. I have not picked up some of the other new ones that have come out. I'm trying not to. Matthew Jakinski, we're trying to stay warm for sure, man. It's getting cold here. RC Mass Master, lots of people are hating on Spectrum. I run Spectrum everything, man. I run Spectrum radios. I probably have over 50 Spectrum receivers. Well, I've maxed out so I have at least 40. I've maxed out 2 of my ruggeds. Plus I have some that are still just running on their stock radios. So I run a lot of Spectrum receivers. That's the first Spectrum I ever got, was a Spectrum DX4R Pro that's sold to me by Josh Williams at Debbie's RC World. First I ever heard of Spectrum. They weren't doing other like electronic stuff at that time, really. Losi was still running like the Fuse Dynamite kind of stuff. And yeah. So over time, more's come out. I run the Spectrum brushless system. As soon as they announced the one that was like the Axe, I ordered one. So I wanted to try it out. I didn't get one for free. I just like, whatever, it came out, I'm going to pre-order it, got it in the mail, put it into my Vanquish, and loved it. Although I did say the fan was a little loud. Sorry, my getting all nasal drip stuff. But yeah, so I like it. The Spectrum I run, it cogs. So if people don't like cogging, but who wants to go slow with the truck? I pull the trigger and it takes off and it goes awesome. I run mine on a rugged radio. I can see all of my telemetry from the LMT. I was just showing people. I programmed a bunch of people's stuff over this past weekend at the Hall Brothers. They had Freestyle was only going to be allowed to run 2S, and so I was going in and bumping everybody's timing that wanted it, bumping their reverse up to 100%, using my timing or my Spectrum card. I actually gave it away to a guy who thought it was so awesome. Was so thankful that I was helping him. Wanted to find out what it was, and I just ordered the V2 one. I bought it because the new Fuse one, or the 2-in-1 they call it, ESC combo, where it's built into the motor, requires the V2 programmer. So I bought one. It's $35, $30, and so I just gave the guy my other one. It works for all the other Spectrum stuff, just not the 2-in-1, and I don't need two. So, but yeah, I love it. And I talked to Big America. He was running it. He also likes that delay for doing all his tricks that he does, because you don't get into it too much. But the Spectrum that people are having trouble with are the 3S ones, and I think a lot of the trouble that we're running into are we're cooking them, man. We are running them long. We're not checking temps. I know that's what happened to me with my Vortex. That thing was, when I looked at the telemetry on it, ooh, I got it so hot. The motor was so hot. The ESC was so hot, and it kept cutting itself off. It was turning itself off, but I would just override it by turning it off and on again and just start running. And yeah. Anyway, I'm looking to see if he had posted the chassis name. Freebird, did you post the chassis name? I'll Google it up. James Rodriguez says he runs a censored Castle Monster XESC Holmes Hobby Puller Pro. That's awesome, man. That's a punchy way to do it, for sure. Angel says he's got the portals waiting on parts. He's going to run them. Earl Moorhead, you do need every RC. 2 of them. One of them to bash and upgrade, and the other to run. Matthew says, haven't had any issues with my Vortex. Very impressed with the first Armor 2. Yeah, mine, I was trying to get the video out, and I just ran it battery after battery, and I cooked that motor. I haven't had any other of my 3S motors burn up like that, but I typically would just run one battery pack through them and be fine. And with the Vortex, I ran 3, I think, through it back to back and had some issues. All right, so what did I do? I got this right here. Now, this is just as a talking point. This is kind of like Cadillac-ish Escalade, I guess. Could be multiple types of... Could be used for a lot of different body types, especially for monster trucks. You could probably build a Jester out of it, Monster Energy truck. Now, the Hot Wheels can't use any of that branding, so they still have the form, but they're making something else out of it. So what I was thinking when I was looking at this, and when I was on the Old Time RC site was, sorry about that, bang the microphone. I wonder if I could do something with that for myself. So I'm on Old Time RC site. I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm just like, well, what other stuff do they have here? And then it says fabrication equipment. I'm like, well, what's that all about? And then I see vacuum formers, and I'm like, huh. What could you do with this? The problem with running this body on my 24 scale is it would double the weight of it, and it would all be on the top and make it really flimsy. So I thought I could maybe turn this into some kind of a form and vacuum form it for myself, and maybe have a wrap made or paint it up however I wanted, put sticker bomb it, whatever I want to do with it, but run it as a Lexan body. And so I ordered a vacuum former because of Harley Designs having his sponsored scale news update by Old Time RC. I wanted to see what Old Time RC was about. They had something that I thought was interesting. So, depending on what size you want a vacuum form, they've got an 11 by 17 unit or an 8 by 11 unit. The smaller being 8 by 11 here for $700, or the larger being $1,000. So, the larger one won't really do at 11 by 16, 11 by 17. It won't really do a full 1/10 scale body. You could probably do interiors and stuff with it. But more what I'm looking to do is maybe have the opportunity to make myself some scale Lexan bodies from either model kits or these 1/24 scale hard body metal monster truck bodies. So that's something that's coming up conspiracy wise. That's something I ordered to do some working with and see other ways I might be able to use vacuum forming as something I can do for RC, making my own Lexan stuff. Got my 3D printer here. We're ready to get into build mode. So that's what I've been looking at. This here is not a wrap. This is just painted. This is from a Hot Wheels truck I just bought at Meyer today and unscrewed it. I need to now I'll get some kind of clay to mold under it into a base that it'll sit on, that'll angle out at the bottom so that when it vacuum forms, it'll slide off. Because right now, if I were to put this on, it would vacuum form and suck underneath. Then you'd have to cut this all out in order to get the mold off of it, or the Lexan off of it, because it would suck underneath. So I need it to suck outward so that it'll slide right off. Anyway, I'm gonna start playing with some of that. Should be fun. I love learning new things. It's kind of an expensive learning lesson. I might learn to stop spending my money on stuff I don't know how to do. That might be my learning lesson. We'll see. But as this 24 scale stuff is growing, but there's not a lot of stuff out there for us, I just thought, well, I'll just start making my own. I got a bunch of these. I got a whole box of them sitting under that table back there of my collection of these things. So, plaster of Paris I will use eventually, but probably not for the initial mold. Once I do this, I'll be able to make molds from the original pop that I do. And then just put it upside down in plaster of Paris. But I need to be able to kind of work with it while it's sitting there to fill in the windows and all that, I think. So I think once I have it using the clay, I'll be able to then do one pop, then flip it over, fill it with plaster of Paris, and make a mold or two out of it. And if I have the bigger one, I could probably pop 2 bodies at a time. So we'll see. The Speedy Fab chassis for the LMTs. Let's take a look. RC Speedy Fab LMT chassis. I'll pull it up here real quick. Oh, sick. Yes, I have seen these. So if you guys haven't seen these, this is what it is. It is a custom metal chassis running the RC or Freestyle RC transmission in the middle there. Going down to LMT axles. Just kind of mismatch of stuff to be just an awesome scale chassis. They definitely interest me. Beautiful, beautiful work. These ones here have that cage built for the diggers. Nice wheelie bar on the back. So you can see there's different styles even in the cage design, like the different trucks have. Very cool. Yep. I hadn't seen some of the most recent stuff. That was just posted 38 minutes ago. It's really cool. Very clean work. This body is not completely open, so I'd have to fill in windows and stuff. And the original mold, it would require quite a bit because of the extra molding here to clean this up to do the plaster of Paris inside it to pop. So I think it'd be easier to go the outside of it. Because of all the screw holes and markings that they've done. There's extra bracing and stuff on the inside that wouldn't work. And also it doesn't have on the inside it doesn't have things like the headlight. So I definitely want to pop the outside of it. But I need to fill it in so that these windows that are through won't suck in. So I have to put a backer behind it with clay. But my dad used to work with clay a lot, and so I wish if he's still around, I would probably work with him on it because he was so good at it. But and he had a kiln and stuff available. So we're gonna have to do air dry at least for the first one before we then have a mold to then pour plaster of Paris into. I'm drooling. Oh, I am drooling, man. Those chassis are sick. Do those chassis perform better than the stock LMT or more scale? I don't know. If you, for it depends what you want to do with it. Probably for racing, no. It's extra weight. Everybody's trying to shed weight. For freestyle stuff, like what Big America does, having that extra weight up top, even like I don't remove my cages from my LMT, the extra weight up top really makes those shocks work on the axles better. So I think that the suspension and the realism it's a lot more realistic when you have that extra weight up top. But for racing, they strip it all down. It's not about realism. Brian Bissett, man, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later, man. So that's the next thing I have on the docket. That was my Christmas present to myself, was a vacuum former to try out. Hopefully I have better success with it than I have with these things. Still haven't found much love from the 3D printers. I did just get a pretty decent pop off of that. Not a pop, but pretty decent print. You're not going to really be able to see it, but it's a little fuel cell for an SCX24 to go in the back of it. It actually turned out pretty clean. I found I've been trying to find different profiles, and I finally found one that worked pretty decent. So I'm pretty happy with the layer stack on this one. And so now I need to try a few other things now that I've got it working pretty decent, at least for this small one. And then maybe I can 3D print some bodies that I can then use to make a pop from. So we'll see. If I could get that going in a way that I could make forms, that would be really awesome. Because then it changes a lot of things. I could make interiors and different things to even put into these little trucks. Be really cool. When am I ordering clay? Maybe tonight. I tried to pick up some. I was at Walmart today, and I've bought the air dry Crayola stuff there before. And over time, this gets really brittle in that. But if I could get the initial pop on this, it also doesn't get as smooth. But I don't think I need it to, since it's going to be the part that I'm going to cut away anyway. So I think it'll work for my purposes of getting my initial vacuum form Lexan, and then if I get a decent body from it, I can pour a mold into that Lexan and then go from that. So that's kind of at least what I've developed. So I watched way back when RC Short Course World. I've wanted to do it ever since he showed how he had a body that you couldn't get anymore. It was like a rare body, and he just wanted it for himself. He wasn't selling it, whatever. But he took that body that he had and he poured a mold into it with plaster of Paris. And then anytime he wanted to run that vintage body and just destroy it, he had his original for one. That was the Lexan one that he had as original, but then he'd make himself molds that he could bodies that he could use. So just like anything, as long as it's for your own consumption, you should be okay in doing certain things like that. To resell that kind of stuff's a no. Take like a J Concepts body and just pour a mold out of it, like that's a no-go. So the other thing would be, because to pay somebody to make a mold is pretty expensive. So if I just want to pop this for myself and do it, I should be good. But these aren't a Lexan anyway, so I'm going to be creating my mold and probably changing it with some stuff out of this. This is just going to be kind of a starting point. Enix, what about Little Guy Racing parts, portal axles? Thoughts? Currently, only the rears are available. What are they for? LittleGuyRacingParts.com or from Shapeways? If I knew how to design something, I'd probably just design it and then send it to Shapeways, have them print it because their prints are super clean, and then do a mold from that. These SCX-24 stuff that they got on Shapeways are pretty legit. I've never seen this stuff before. Little Guy Racing Parts. Look at these chassis. These are sick. I think got the hoods for them. Little trail rippers. This is kind of what it would look like when it's completed with all the different parts on it. That's really impressive. Oh, that's just this part. This chassis right down here, where's it at? This is super cool. I dig that a lot. I have to get the Leopard Hobby brushless 1625 plates and stuff. So let me pull back here for a second. So they have a website here. Do they have the portals listed on here? So these are the long travel shocks. These are what we use for the monster trucks. That's not a bad price for them. These look just like the hot racing ones, but not silver. Oh, here we go. Portal rear axle kit. Front portal coming soon. Yeah, so the question mark for that would be, does it come with everything you need? Steering knuckles, steel front, dry outer stubs, gears, bearings, hardware, cases, 3D printed, brass upgrade available. They look good. I don't know anything about them. Haven't seen them before. Their stuff looks really good, though. Really good. Need to have them make a chassis, SMT 24. Their other stuff was so good looking on Shapeways. These chassis kits are so good looking. These are good things. Cody, Christmas list, SCX 10.3 Bronco. Awesome. Phoenix, I have one. I haven't driven it yet. That's why I didn't list it. And the Rift kit. Very cool. Don't need people to ask you. Just post it. Just post it. Yeah. You're on a break at work in VA. What's going on? That's awesome. I bet it's a lot warmer in VA than it is here in Michigan right now. I will definitely miss the Virginia winters. I will not miss the end of spring, all of summer, and beginning of fall. Just too hot for me. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready to wrap here. As far as Christmas stuff, I got a lot of that stuff listed in the description down below. If it's something you're looking for, there are, I mean, if we were to go to any of the main sites, I mean, if you went to A Main, right here, Black Friday sale listed. Use this code to get 10% off store wide. Got all their different things listed here that they have percentages off on. So that's all good stuff. And then they've got these deals. This is the one that I kind of wish I'd have gotten in on, the MST. I didn't, but I wish I had of. Here's a quick run Fusion. These are cool. Only 49 left at this price. About $15 off. A little bit of savings, but these are really cool motors. So that's a pretty decent savings on the ProTech servo, though. So I'm going to have to come back here. I haven't actually looked at many of these sales yet. But this is a fun one. The Outlaw Rampage Pro for $189. That's awesome. Really, really fun truck. Not the most capable, just one of the most scale looking and fun to drive. Yeah, you guys, thank you for hanging out. And as RC Guy Gracias, toss me a thumbs up if you like it. We'll be back with more, guys. I've got other content to edit that's been shot and lots more coming. So thanks for tuning in. As always, we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya. Have a happy Thanksgiving as well.